Hey, it's Mico. We're gonna do a quick video, show you as much as I can about adaptive cruise control. So adaptive cruise control, or ACC, it's also called ACC stop and go, because we'll talk about why it goes together with another feature. Basically, in addition to the regular cruise control, it will maintain the speed between you and the car in front of you. So mainly, once you set the speed and somebody cuts you off or slows down, you won't have to interrupt the cruise control and won't have to touch the brake. Your car will slow it down. So I want to demo it in like real life situation, and then we'll talk about other things. So to activate it, in most cars like this one, this is the X6 by the way, I hit the button on the steering wheel, the lower one, and right now it's ready. You can see the display. And now once I hit set, the system is active. Now this car since it has adaptive cruise control, I can adjust the distance between me and the car in front of me. So right now I'm gonna set it to the closest, and that's the display. Display might change based on what options you have. So right now I'm gonna speed it up. I'm gonna use these controls, the roller on the side, and once you push it a little bit further up, it goes up in increments of 5 miles. That's what I'm doing right now. And so what's happening right now, you see it's set at about 65 miles an hour, but since the car in front of me is kind of slow, I'm going less than 60, like 55. So right now I changed the lane. There's no traffic, so my car is speeding up. And now it can raise it, so I'm going to raise it to 70. And again, you can see, like if you look at this display, the speed display, the green marker is the set speed, and then you have the speed. You can see if it matches or not. So that's basically it. And again, you can see this shows you the distance I set, and right now I'm going to try to increase it. So right now this would be the furthest distance from the car in front of me. Alright, so right now there's a little bit of traffic in front of us, so we're going to see live what it's going to do. Okay, so you can see it's actively slowing me down. It's using the brakes. Now we're below 60, and it's keeping pretty big distance. So for safety, this is obviously better to have more distance. What's not good is that if this is a heavy traffic situation, people are going to start getting upset behind me, or somebody on the side will start just getting in and cutting me off. Obviously, we don't want that. So that's really quick display of how it works. And now what's important and how it works with the active driving assistant. So this is a really confusing part with BMW. If you get, on most cars, you get a package that's called Driver Assistance Plus. You get the active driving assistant, which is the pedestrian warning, collision warning, and prevention. But if you don't have the adaptive cruise control, it's not gonna actually stop. It will just warn you, it will beep, it will flash on head-up display here, and it will preload the brakes. So then when you touch the brakes, the car will stop easily. But again, it's not going to actively do anything for you. So if you don't do anything, it's going to warn you as much as it can, but at the end, you're just going to hit the car in front of you. Another thing is that, so you see, okay, I'm going to interrupt myself. Car in front of you went away. And this is kind of interesting because the road is curving, and the car should slow down a little bit. Like if it's the curve is too serious, too steep, the car will slow down more. But right now, I don't know if you can see it, even when I'm turning, the car can detect the car in front of me. So I've been talking for like 5 minutes since we started this. I have not touched my brakes, okay? Right now I'm going about 45. The cruise control is set at 70. So all I need to do is steer. That's another thing, that it takes a little while once you use it to actually gain confidence. And another trick is that you have to have confidence, but you cannot be overconfident, because the half of the manual that talks about these features is about that it's not, it will not replace you. It's not a self-driving car. You can still hit something. Still, a lot of things might happen. For example, motorcycles. It might not detect a motorcycle. If it's dirty, if it's raining, there are a lot of things might happen. You still need to pay full attention on the road, and this is really important. All right, so right now we're cruising at 70 miles an hour. So back to driving assistant. If you don't have the adaptive cruise control, it will warn you but not do anything. if you do have adaptive cruise control, it might help you. But again, we're going back to the personal responsibility. Active driving assistant will not drive for you. It will not stop if you're texting while driving. Please don't do that. So it's an additional safety feature, but it's not going to save you from accidents, okay? Another thing, like for example, it only really works when the car in front of you really slows down abruptly. If it changes speed from like going 75, suddenly it's going 30, or it stopped. Then the system will detect it. Otherwise, it should speed up a little bit. Otherwise, you will hit the car in front of you. If somebody cuts you off too abruptly and the system did not have a chance to do that, there's just not going to be any time. So this system is great for driving in traffic. It's great for driving in moderate traffic, like right now, because like right now we're going, it's pretty open. I'm gonna wait and see where I can safely change a lane and go behind a slower car. So we're gonna do it right now. I'm gonna make a few lane changes here and one more. All right, so now I'm behind a slower car, and immediately the brakes are applied, and we're going from 75 down to about 65. And I'm gonna try this a little bit more extreme, so I really went off the freeway. Okay, so here I'm not gonna test it. This will be stupid to try to do this without actually applying the brake. So I pushed the brake and I really deactivated the system because the turn was too steep. But the system is still on. So what I can do right now, once we can actually open it up, I can hit the set button again. You can try it right now. So I got the set button, and the cruise control is active again, just at the slower speed. You can activate it anywhere over 20 miles an hour. So right now I do have cruise control. It is adaptive, and it's set at 30. I don't want to go any faster right here. That's enough for purple. Let's go a little bit faster. Alright, so next what I'm going to do, well, this is an interesting road. Been here a lot of times, but never used cruise control. So right now what's happening, behind this truck. I'm not touching the brake, okay? I'm right behind it. Okay, that was the beep in the warning, and the car pretty much stopped. And now I stopped the car, just it's a full stop, so I don't get a ticket. And now I'm just using normal gas. And then I can hit resume, and it resumes back to the speed where I left it. So right now I'm gonna follow that car. I'm going 40 miles an hour. So right now I'm using this not even on the highway. It's still useful. It's still useful even in turns. So right now it's a little bit below 40 because that's how fast this car is going. And we're gonna see what happens because both of us are gonna, okay, so here I still need to override it. This is that steep turn I was telling you about. If the turn too steep, you cannot, you know, count on the system to do that for you. All right, so we're gonna come to a stop, to the light. Actually, there's no light. We're gonna hit resume, accelerate a little bit. And this will be another good test. So there's a bicycle in front of you, and the system is not seeing the bicycle. So another thing for you to remember, something small like this could be in front of you. I was going pretty fast. I would not risk hitting it. Where you can control it. With newer cars, in the front display right here, you have this big button. It shows like a car with either green or red. And what it's going to do once I push it, it goes into the system, and I can go through a few different things to set them or change. So front collision warning, pedestrian warning, lane departure, not related, and active blind spot detection also. These are just parts of the Driver Assistance Plus package, so not related to what we're doing. I'm just going to turn everything back on. And another thing I want to talk about is availability. Pretty much every manufacturer advertises this feature, from Mercedes all the way to Kia and anything in between. Everybody has this. But you'll be surprised to know that it's actually really hard to find, because at the end, maybe that's why they advertise it, because people actually don't see the value. Not a lot of people are waiting to pay for it. So it becomes like a chicken and egg thing. Either no cars because nobody wants it, or nobody wants it and buys it because there are no cars. All right, so another test. I did not touch the brakes. I'm still not holding the brakes. That car moved. This is perfect display. If I didn't have to stop for long, and nobody knows how long, but it was like a second, I did a full stop, that car moved, I moved. I did not touch the brakes, I did not touch the gas, I just have to steer. I'm just gonna try it again because I think there's a red light in front of us. So again, we're set at about 40, that car moved away, there's another car in the front. Ooh, it's accelerating. Kind of scary. Yep, okay. So, you know, this is the thing. It kind of worked, but then it didn't really work, and I didn't want to test it. Maybe it would have stopped, but it beeped twice, and I touched the brakes. The brakes were preloaded. It stopped pretty fast, but, you know, one of those things. Not sure. Would have worked, or not, I don't know. So back to the availability. Long story short, this feature is kind of hard to find. I just went through our inventory, all the incoming cars, and out of all the 2017 3 Series, we have nothing in stock or nothing coming in, because when we tried to order that feature, it didn't sell. So if this is something you want, this is something you must have on the car, you should think about ordering your car ahead of time. BMW is great with ordering cars. I order cars all the time, custom orders. Cars from Germany most of the time come within about 6, worst case scenario 8 weeks. United States production, South Carolina, is much faster, within 5 weeks for sure. So you pick the colors, you pick the options. If you can build it on BMW website, we can order it for you, and you'll get the options you want. So just something to think about. Otherwise, it just gets frustrating. You see all those commercials. All right, so right now I'm just going to touch the gas, accelerate a little bit, but the system is still on. It's still set at 45. Now I'm just following the car in front of me. So yeah, if this is something you want to just get the most safety features, it's great. The system is awesome. It's great in traffic, as a cruise control is, but just plan ahead of time and order the car you want. Another thing, just why it's so hard to keep them in stock with these options, is that there are, especially with luxury cars, probably not just BMW, there are so many configurations, so many ways you can configure it. So once you start, like let's say you add the adaptive cruise control, and you start thinking, well, maybe we should add the Harman Kardon, maybe you should add this and this. So then you just add everything, and for some people it will be just too expensive. Somebody might say, okay, I want everything, but I have no use for heated seats because I'm in Southern California, or I don't listen to music, I don't want to pay for premium sound system. So bottom line, it's just hard to guess, and customization works great. You just have to plan ahead and figure it out. So okay, so last display. Right now there's kind of heavy traffic, so I'm going to try to see how it's going to work in really, really heavy traffic, which it is right now. So right now we're not moving, and the system is off. And what if I just hit resume? Okay, still need to push gas, and now it's green, and now it's just following cars in traffic. And I think this is where it's going to work just fine. If it's not a situation like I had before, when I'm going 45, but the car in front of me is just stopped. When it's just slow like this, it should work totally fine. So we stopped, and right now it's still green. And I want to see how, okay, and that's it. Now it turned red. So I guess when it's just a couple of seconds, it turns green, and then you need to touch gas again to get it going. So that's what I did. And it kind of crawls behind the car in front of me, tries not to stop. So works as intended, if you're just not being too stupid and not relying on it for too much. I think that's the bottom line. A couple of other things I found, like if you go on Sport Plus mode, it's not going to work. Adaptive cruise control or active driving assistant does not work in Sport Plus. If you unbuckle the seat belt, if you open the door, obviously if you go to park, everything shuts off and it turns itself off. Alright, so you can see cars in front of me changing lanes. Okay, well this is kind of crazy. So you see this car can decide if it changes lane or not. So I had to turn off the system, otherwise I might have hit it. I don't know. It was just right in the corner. It's pretty smooth. Pretty much all gas cars for 2016-17 year models, they all have the same system. The 2 Series does not have it as an option. All the rest from 3 Series all the way up, it is available. The 7 Series is different. It's a little bit higher grade. It's smoother. And then there's also the steering assistant. We made a couple of other videos. You can watch those. But again, you know, a little bit different, different level, different price point. But for this, it works great. If you saw my other videos, my X5s, I have been getting it since 2014. So we've used this feature for a few years, and it works fine. It just comes back to how confident you are and to know limitations and still to pay attention to the road, still pay attention to the system. Sometimes you'll get a warning if like your car gets dirty, happened to me, or if you drive at night a long time on an empty road, you'll just get a warning that the system is off. It'll say malfunction, but basically it's just to be on the safe side. If the system is not sure that it's working, it'll just say it's not working, turn itself off, and it cannot use it. So it happened to me, like driving at night on a lone road, like 10 miles without any cars in front of us. Also happened, last time it happened in the rain. It was heavy rain, and the system said malfunction. Probably just could not, you know, work properly because of the interaction from the water. But right now, I've been using this for like last 5 minutes. I'm just adjusting the speed, so I'm not going to slow down people behind me. So I'm set at 60 miles an hour, going about 50. And it's just easy and pleasant and helps you deal with traffic without attacks of road rage, and just makes the time pass easier. So we're gonna hit a little bit of traffic, I think, again. Like this car is slowing down. My car is slowing down pretty smoothly. If he slows down, you know, not like an emergency stop, then your car anticipates, and sometimes we'll get closer, get further, but it's not just jerks back and forth and hits the brake every time. It's pretty smooth. And I think that's it. I think I was able to show you as much as you can see. Again, bottom line, it's a great feature. I would recommend it. I think the price is right. When it just came out, like 6-7 years ago, this option used to cost up to, I think, $3,000, $3,500. Now it's $1,200. If you buy a $70,000 BMW, $1,200, I think it's worth it. But remember, if this is something you want, order the car in advance.